See if I can do this. What in the hell? There's something going on in the electrical system, I think. Yeah, I bet you it has no spark right now. Weird. This thing does weird stuff. Fuel. Coolant in it, so it ain't going anywhere. I haven't checked tire steering fluid, so it's not whining. I'm just wondering if the spark's going to go out. That's the problem I've been having. Pretty quiet for solid lifter. Fuel pump pumping now. Huh. Not leaking on the ground anymore. See how the storage wants to give up. I don't know how good this carburetor actually is. I just threw some used pieces at it. Yeah, not gonna idle. Coming around. That's surprising. I got the back somewhere. Choke's working though. She opened up on her own. carburetor in this thing. At least it half-assedly runs. Well, that's the longest it's ran. It's only got head pipes and cats. I knocked the cats out too, so it doesn't have any other exhaust. I should probably eventually do that. Oh, the upper radiator hose is getting warm. Oh, I see a temperature gauge moving. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I know the fuel gauge ain't gonna work.
It ain't got no gas in it.
I'm running it off this one here. I obviously have vacuum issues somewhere. It could be that carburetor. This thing hasn't ran in forever. I don't know if I can reach the idle mixer switches. I think we have a fuel pump issue. I started opening up the idle air mixture screws and she started to smooth out, and I was able to pull some idle speed out of it, and I was playing with it, noticing that I was no longer shooting any fuel. It's not pulling any fuel now, whether it's the float, which shouldn't be. It seemed like it was working, or the fuel pump. I have to test it. I have a feeling the fuel pump is my problem, because I have plenty of fuel in my little tank here. They're not super difficult to change. Get most of it from underneath. It's way down there. You can kind of see it. But it's getting dark. It's going to be getting cold, and I'm not really going to be interested in messing with it. So we're getting somewhere. Didn't overheat. I didn't have that fuel leak anymore. I suppose I could test on it tomorrow to see if... Here, put some light on the matter. To see if it is in fact the fuel pump, which I'm pretty sure it is. These fuel pumps in these things suck. I remember fighting this problem with my 78 I had years ago. Other than that, these are good little engines, but the fuel pump is always a pain in the butt. I've had to actually fill up the fuel line going into the pump to get it to take prime and start pushing, which is just stupid. So anyways, she runs. I think new fuel pump. I'll put some fuel in the tank. We'll start there. I could test the pump. I'm pretty sure it's the pump giving me problems. I'm not going to doubt the carburetor's effed, but it's running anyways. I thought I was having ignition problems there for a little while, but she didn't skip a beat. It's the longest it ran. Trying to get this thing off the jack stands. Get it mobile again. It used to be mobile. And I couldn't remember. Pretty sure it had issue with the ignition switch. So I faintly remember having to jiggle that thing to keep it running or whatever once you get started. I don't know for sure. But yep, a little bit closer. We had to change the fuel line in it. I didn't do the testing, my dad did, from my son, and he concluded that the fuel line was bad. I don't know. We pulled it out. I didn't think it was bad. He might have done a vacuum test on it, didn't have one of his ends tight or something, but I really don't think there was anything wrong with the fuel line. But it has a new one in it now. Fits pretty good. I believe we got it from Right Stuff. Trying to remember how much it was. $80? something like that. And it goes the full length. You can see it coming up down there. It's not hooked up. It's just sitting there. But it fits pretty good. I was surprised. I didn't think anyone would actually make anything worth a dang for a Mustang II. They just whip it out and go, here you go, here's a Mustang II part. But all the bends actually seemed like they were in pretty accurate positions. I was really impressed at how well it did actually fit. The fact that they bend it in half kind of irritates me, but I get it, shipping. I told him, I said, you need to make it match the line you took out. Of course, he kind of tweaked the old one, getting it out, because you're supposed to drop some of the front suspension out of the way to get it out without tweaking it. And, well, we didn't, obviously. It's better done when you have the front end off the thing or whatever. So anyways, I've been over here cleaning and organizing and going through stuff, and then he was over here as well, and that way I could help him with it while he was working on it. And he got the line put in. I had to kind of straighten her out a little bit, but he did a pretty good job for never having been doing this stuff before. But the whole goal was to get it running and moving before the end of the year. Well, before the end of the summer, but that didn't happen. I wanted him to drive it before he went in the military, and well, we fell short. So anyways, we were supposed to do it, father-son project for his daily driver, and I'm looking at it going, yeah. By the time I finally had the money and the time, we didn't have enough time, so I bought him a little 92 Ranger, which has been a pretty good rig. And I told him, I says, well, we'll do this one up. Just we'll take our time if you're still interested in it. And he said, yeah. I'm like, okay. So I'm hoping he doesn't lose interest and we continue this little deal. It'd be cool. It'd be slow because he's away in the military, which is fine. He needs to go do his own thing. That's it for me. I'm gonna close up shop and head home and work on some of my junk in my shop. It seems like it's all I do is work on junk. It runs. We're getting somewhere. I can't believe I was such an idiot not to make sure it was recording. Good Lord. But anyways, yeah, I can't remember how many years this thing's been sitting. It's been a while. But it seems to brake just fine. The clutch works just fine. Stops. Power steering doesn't make any noise at all. Actually, it doesn't drive too bad. It has some kind of intermittent weird electrical issue. It didn't give me any problems when I was driving it, but right as I rolled back into the driveway, it shut right off. Popped the clutch and it fired right back up again. So I don't know what exactly is going on. Typical story with electrical gremlins. But been a long time. I know the boy started working on it. This is pretty much it's his car. Grandpa gave it to him. It's been sitting a long time. I can't even remember how long it used to. He would sit in that grassy spot over there behind the trailer. And I got a picture of him, like, he's like maybe not even been a few months old, standing up in the seat. But years ago he gave it to him. It was supposed to be a father-son deal. But for being a used V6, it came out of one of the several cars that we junked out. Because when we got it, it had no engine transmission. So I put this in here, geez, probably 19 years ago, almost 20 years ago, and then it just sat. But my dad thought it was the fuel line that was bad. I don't think it was bad. I think it was okay. I think he misdiagnosed it or something. It had a leak in where he capped it off. But the line, I mean, it's got a couple questionable spots, but just from visually looking at it, I don't think there was anything wrong with it. But he said he pressure checked it and found it was leaking. I don't know. I think he might have had a bad connection on one end or something. But anyways, it's got a new line in it now. I found the fuel pump. That'd be a problem. Finally found a fuel pump for it. Dropped her in there. Seems to run really good. So I think just a little bit of tuning and a little more use, and I think it'll start coming back around. But she needs a lot of work. Definitely needs a date with a sandblaster. The car's really straight. It's just got some surface rust and a few rust through issues. This was supposed to be a car him and I were going to put together when he was younger. I just didn't have the time, nor really even had the funds. Now he's 20 and away in basic training, and we were working on this right up to when he left. But we ran out of time, and hoping that over the years we'll get this going again, finish where we left off. That's my hope. We'll see. He may or may not be interested in it anymore. We'll see. I'm not getting rid of it until he says so. But new tank, new line, cleaned up the filler hose, it still looked okay. New rubber connection into the tank, new rubber everywhere else. Carburetor's in decent shape. Could use to be gone through again. Brakes seemed to work good. Didn't pull when I was driving it. Clutch felt good. Electrical system's a mess. I think I got one brake light and one headlight, maybe a turn signal if you're lucky. She needs some work. I'll talk to him. I like doing the all red conversion. I haven't done that to mine yet. I'd like to do it to his if he wants to, or do it to mine when I get to that point. So I haven't done one yet, but I like the way they look. That sucks. I can't believe I screwed up. I must have had it in the wrong mode. I hit the button and took off down the street and went for a drive, and it took a picture. Took a damn picture. So, anyways, maybe we'll do another one. It's getting dark and cold already. I come over. The whole point of doing this was coming over and getting a video and taking it for a drive a nice day, and I screw it up and take a stupid picture. Oh, not happy. So anyways, I'm packing up. I'm going home, making me something to eat, feed the daughter. We're done for today. I don't know when I'll get this video out. I'm way behind on editing. But I wanted to at least film this before white crap got everywhere and couldn't go anywhere or do anything because everything's frozen. So anyways, till next time.